Hi friends, to start with NAPCC, National Action Plan on Climate Change. National Action Plan on Climate Change is a consolidated policy instrument by Government of India to mitigate and to adapt to the effects of climate change. So what was the need of this National Action Plan? India is a country which is quite vulnerable to natural disasters on account of climate change. India is ranked 12th by Global Climate Risk Index. India is ranked 12th. 4,000 deaths are annually happening due to climate change. Further, India is a party to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So, as a responsible global power, it was very much needed to have a policy instrument to tackle climate change. So in 2007, under UPA government, Prime Minister's Council on Climate Change was formed. It was a 26-member body comprising of ministers and various experts. They came up with a prepared document in 2008, just ahead of the G8 summit. So India showcased its international responsibility through this policy document or action plan on climate change. Now, what actually it is? It is comprising of 8 sectoral missions, and those 8 sectoral missions are anchored in particular ministries. There are responsible ministries which are responsible for implementation, planning, implementation, monitoring and evaluation of all those sectoral missions. In addition to these sectoral missions, there are other measures which will be taken to mitigate climate change. So 8 sectoral mission plus other measures will be taken. From where this NAPCC will receive its funding? So funding will basically come out for these missions out of the plan outlays, from the various schemes which will be subsumed under these various sectoral missions. Okay, various schemes, already existing scheme, plus the fund may also proceed from Green Climate Fund. Green Climate Fund proceedings are channeled into National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change, and this National Adaptation Fund, which is being controlled by NABARD, National Agriculture Bank on Rural Development. This is the national implementing entity. It controls the fund in this National Adaptation Fund. This will be disbursing the funds on a case-by-case basis, on the need basis, to the interested ministries for their sectoral missions. So, and to align with these National Action Plan, states are required to prepare their state-specific climate change action plans. Okay, so in this manner, these will be implemented. Basically, action plan is adopting a co-benefit approach. In this co-benefit approach, on one hand, you are realizing the development objectives of the nation, and on the other hand, you are also mitigating or addressing the climate change. So the co-benefit approach have been used. Now, one by one, what are those 8 missions? 8 missions, namely, are along with their ministries. Though there are 8 missions with each ministry, but the overall coordination charge is with the Ministry of Environment and Forests. Okay, so what are those 8 missions? One is National Solar Mission, and the ministry responsible is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency. This is being done through Bureau of Energy Efficiency by Ministry of Power. Third mission, National Water Mission is there. Water Mission, Ministry of Water Resources, or newly it is known as Ministry of Jal Shakti. Then National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. The fourth mission is National Mission on Sustainable Habitats. This is being done by Ministry of Urban Development. Then there is 6th mission, which is called Green India Mission, which is being implemented by Ministry of Environment and Forests and Climate Change. Further, in addition to these 6 sectoral missions, there are 2 missions which are missions to bridge the knowledge gap. Knowledge gap in the scientific community. These missions are National Mission on Sustainable Himalayan Ecosystem and National Mission on Strategic Knowledge regarding climate change. These both missions are anchored or implemented by Ministry of Science and Technology. So we will individually be discussing each of these missions one by one. So if we look at the National Solar Mission, the renewable technology has been the buzzword. Solar energy has got a lot of benefits, like it ensures the energy security of the nation, reduces the fossil fuel consumption, the low carbon economy is there. It will give a boost to the solar manufacturing sector. India will be a technological hub. What happened? National Solar Mission, though launched in 2010, but the target fixed at that time was 20 gigawatt of solar installed capacity by 2022. India revised this target in 2014-15 to massive 100 gigawatt by 2022. What happened in 2014-15? India initiated the formation of International Solar Alliance, and India was also a signatory to the Paris Agreement on Climate Change. So India was initiating member for International Solar Alliance. In the Paris Agreement, India has an nationally determined contribution to reduce carbon emission through getting its energy demand fulfilled to the extent of 40% through renewable energy, which amounts to 175 gigawatt. In this 175 gigawatt of renewable energy, 100 gigawatt was to come from solar energy. In this 100 gigawatt, the 40 gigawatt was through the rooftop solars, and 60 gigawatt was through the grid connected solar networks. So in addition to that, 15 million square meter area was to be installed in terms of solar heating capacity, and 20 million solar lighting should have been installed by 2022. So these were various targets regarding solar mission. Solar Energy Corporation of India was the main procurement agency. The renewed purchase obligations RPO of the states were revised from 0.25% to 3%. That is, a state has to it is mandatory for the states to get 3% of their total energy as the solar energy. So these various steps were taken. Funding was made easier. Private sector funding, public sector funding, viability gap funding, capital subsidy on rooftop solars, these all were giving. And National Solar Mission was a lofty target, but it is said that it is very difficult to achieve 100 gigawatt by 2022. Since then, only 21 gigawatt has been installed till date. So it seems to be lofty. The next mission is National Mission on Energy Efficiency. National Mission on Energy Efficiency. So what happens in National Mission for Efficient Energy Economy? In this, it is said if we are able to save our energy, we will be able to create additional 20 gigawatt of energy. We will be able to save 23 million tons of oil equivalent of energy every year, and we will be able to offset around 100 million ton, or we will be able to reduce 100 million tons of CO2 emission. How we are doing this? Through Bureau of Energy Efficiency, one institution. Another institution is there, National Service Agency, Energy Efficiency Services Limited. So these two agencies are doing it. B has launched a program, very important program, which is Performed, Achieve and Trade. It is a market-based mechanism for the energy-intensive industries. What we are doing, we are incentivizing savings of energy through issuing of energy saving certificates. These additional energy saving certificates are provided, which can be very easily traded with other designated consumers in the market or the trading platform. What are those trading platforms? Power Exchange of India and India's Energy Exchange, Indian Exchange of Energy. Okay, so through these energy saving certificates can be traded. Other things are market transformation for appliances. Very good appliances have to be there. Energy efficient appliances, like energy efficient appliances are given star rating by Bureau of Energy Efficiency. So all the ACs and all the gadgets which are being installed in the government buildings are 5-star, have got a 5-star rating. Another thing, you had to have financial instruments which can guarantee energy saving projects, which are like venture capital funds and partial risk guarantee funds, which are being done through the mechanism of energy efficiency financing platforms. So various these mechanisms, and in its first cycle itself, PAT has overachieved its target by 30%. So it is a very important program. What is this? National Mission for Energy Efficiency. National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. It is completely called as Enhanced Energy Efficiency. So coming on to the next mission, which is National Water Mission. Water is a very scarce resource. India has just 4% of the freshwater resources, and it has to feed around 17% of the population out of these resources, and challenges are there on all the fronts. Be it surface water, the challenges of skewed distribution, flood at one place, drought at other place, groundwater, the levels are depleting, quality is deteriorating, sea coast, there is saline intrusion. So all levels there are challenges. So there is National Water Mission with the goal of mapping the hydrological resources of the nation, create an accurate database of water across the country and putting it in the public domain so that it can be used by the public. So database has to be created. Then citizen-based and state-based actions to augment, preserve and conserve water. Then we have to increase the water use efficiency by more than 20%. Then watershed area development has to be there. We have to focus, another thing, focus on the vulnerable areas. Like urban areas, there is depletion of groundwater. So we should focus on recycle, reuse. In the saline, in the coastal areas, we have to focus on low-cost desalination technologies. While in other areas, we have to plan basin level management. So it is said that these steps can definitely enhance the water security of the nation and accessibility of water to all the citizens of the country. There is another mission which is called Jal Jeevan Mission to provide tap water to all households by 2024. There is Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Jal Shakti Abhiyan says कि reuse, recharge, renovate the traditional water bodies, harvest water, extensive afforestation. These all steps will augment the water quality as well as quantity and ensure the water security of the nation. The next mission in this series is National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. Agriculture is feeding 50% of our population. 50% of the people are draining their livelihoods out of this. But it is facing the dual challenge of climate change. Climate change impact on the productivity of agriculture, and another challenge to reduce the emissions from this sector. So what we are going to do, we are helping this agriculture through this mission by soil health management. We are issuing soil health cards. So integrated nutrient management can be done, and nutrient can be applied to the soil in appropriate dosing. Judicious use of fertilizer has to be there, biofertilizers have to be there, and appropriate dosing has to be there. Soil has to be tested in the testing laboratories. Testing quality has to be enhanced. Then some mission on agroforestry. You have to provide good quality plantation so that to augment the income of the farmers. Rain-fed area development program. In certain areas which farmers are dependent on rain, in those areas we have to develop other sources of income like horticulture, apiculture, fishing, organic manuring, vermicomposting. So various other activities have to be there to supplement the income of the farmers so they are not wholly dependent on agriculture and mitigate the effect of climate change on the income of the farmers. Another thing, there is climate change, sustainable agriculture, modeling, monitoring and networking. This is the fourth one. We have to create adaptive models for sustainable agriculture through this process. The next mission is National Mission on Sustainable Habitat. Cities are considered to be the hotbeds of emission, consume 2/3 of the energy resources, and 70% of the CO2 emissions are there. So what we have to do, we have to do energy efficient buildings have to be there. There has to be solid and liquid waste management, proper solid and liquid waste management, and there has to be rapid urban mass transport through cleaner energy. So there are 4 flagship missions in this. What are those? Amrit Atal mission for rejuvenation and urban transformation. This mission focuses on sewage, drinking water, stormwater drainage, green areas near the buildings, afforestation, community-based disaster management. So it is very holistic. Then Swachh Bharat mission, we all know. Smart cities program, we all know. Urban rapid transport program, we know. So all these flagship missions have the potential to reduce the carbon emissions by a hopping 270 million tons by 2031. Next mission in this series to reduce carbon emissions is National Mission, which is a Green India mission. We have to plant trees of different varieties in forest areas as well as non-forest areas. 5 million hectare here and 5 million hectare in these areas. So it has to be seen, trees should be suitable to the soil and the climatic conditions of the region, one thing. Another thing is plantation should be of varied types. This mission is being funded through Green Climate Fund, through our own National Adaptation Fund on Climate Change, plan outlays, Manrega, Campa, and National Afforestation Plan. It is sad that if this mission is implemented totally till 2020 only, we will be able to offset around 50 to 60 million tons of carbon dioxide. Moving on to the last 2 missions, which are knowledge-based missions, are National Mission on Sustainable Himalayan Ecosystem and National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. In this mission, we have to study Himalayas, assess the vulnerability, build the capacity. Collaborative channels of scientists, lawmakers, policymakers have to be built so that we can assess the situation and formulate policy based on that situation and work for the vulnerable society in these Himalayan regions, especially 12 states, 10 Himalayan states and 2 partial hill states of Assam and West Bengal. We will work on glaciers, biodiversity, hydrological services. Himalayas are very important for the ecological security of the nation. They form the climate, they provide a lot of ecosystem services. So we have to safeguard our Himalayas to safeguard ourselves. Next thing, strategic knowledge. Technology shall be vital when dealing with the climate change, adaptation as well as mitigation. So we have to create new technologies. Technologies can only be created when we look at the world. So global watch cells have been created, 6, and the 6 global technology watch groups have been created. Centers of excellence there, extensive research is being done, projects are being taken, but they have to consolidate the research and translate it into the policy action. That is the matter. Now all these missions, along with this, we have to focus on our other measures. Other measures are enhancing our security through coal power plants should be more efficient, use newer technology like integrated combined cycle technology for coal power plants, newer hydropower, nuclear power, renewable energy has to be mainstreamed, disaster management, work on the health situation of the country in adaptation to climate change, assess the newer vector-borne diseases, work on disaster management. So all these other measures have to be taken in conjunction with these missions. Other measures. Last but not least, I will like to say that this national mission or national action plan is holistic, but it has to evolve continuously with the newer scientific and technological developments and newer developments in the field of international multilateral climatic regime as well as arrangements regarding international cooperation. But we are among the first 10 nations to have a consolidated policy instrument to deal with, to address climate change. Thank you.